Hello, welcome back to the 61% podcast, where we want to engage the unengaged Christian. My name is Mario.
I am Jordy.
And we have a special guest today, and we're pretty pumped. Elijah, how you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about yourself, just about your role, what church you go to, what you do there. Mix in some fun stuff like what you like and things like that. So
yeah, well, I'm Elijah. I'm the youth pastor at the Holly Alliance Church, and oh man, how long have I been going for? A year and a half now. Officially around a year. I started as an intern. We're graduating from Crown College, still finishing up. So that's a lot of fun. But yeah, my role is I get to work with the 6 through 12, mainly 6 through 12 kids. Doing the ministry with the youth, and I always grew up in it. Like my mom was the youth pastor, and it actually started as my dad was like kind of the lead, but then my mom transitioned to it. But she was always helping for like they've been doing ministry for 25 years now, and so like I always grew up in it.
That's so crazy to even still think about because we saw her yesterday.
I know.
Yeah. Just the mention of 25 years in youth ministry
that's crazy.
Because like
impressive.
The turnover is like what, every 3 years.
It's like 3 to 5 years. Yeah. It's pretty bad.
Yeah. So, so they're kicking it still, and so I always grew up in it. This is honestly all I've ever known is just chaos. I love it. I just love it, and it fits right in. I have ADHD, so my ex-girlfriend at the time, like one time she came to youth group and was like, "Yeah, this fits you pretty well because I just bounce around everywhere," and I just love it.
And it's great because the kids love it.
Yeah.
They're not looking, I mean, they're just like, hey, we just want to play. We just want to hang out. We want to.
Yeah. I praise God that I have it because literally 3:05 is around when school ends for the elementary kids. Yeah. And they're over here at 3:07 at the church. So
like, they roll up pretty fast.
Yeah. Wednesday nights are
that's sweet.
It's awesome. Like your youth group starts at 6, but they're right away.
That's super cool.
So my nights
over 3 hours of entertaining the youth before it actually starts.
Yeah, it's like I start at officially I get 6, but I'm there from like 3 to 10 usually because then I have a Bible study after. Wednesdays are long, but they're good. Yeah, so that's my main role, and I also get out in the community quite a bit, coaching. I coach cross country, track, and basketball. Assistant for all of them. I actually was the junior high coach for 7th and 8th grade for the boys basketball, and then I was assistant varsity, and then I did the junior cross country team. That was fun, just playing games with them, getting them to get excited about cross country. My dad's a cross country coach, and then I did track this year, and I'm really enjoying that. And last year, super active,
healthy man.
Yeah, that's how my parents were too. Like.
Just always
in something.
Yeah.
My dad's the cross country coach, track coach, mom, cross country track. That's how you meet kids.
Well, it's great you're primed for youth ministry because that's all the kids do is they just play sports.
Yeah. And that's one of the things we want to get to later is how the coaching. I coach tennis. I don't know if we talked about that last time, but but I'm not a youth pastor, so it's a little different. Like it's still good, and I love doing it. We'll continue doing it, but I want to talk a little bit about how that coaching specifically in youth ministry is beneficial.
Well, thank you, Elijah, for coming on the pod. We work together, by the way, and it's pretty fun in the office. So so before we dive into all the meat and all the good stuff, but tell us a little bit about how you hear from the Lord. How you hear the Lord speak to you, just in your walk with the Lord. And, I mean, you can share how if it's changed over the years as you've walked with Him and things like that. But just share a little bit about that, and then maybe we can share too. And
for sure. Yeah, for me, I feel like it has changed a lot. Like when I really started to figure out my calling into ministry, it was when I was going to MSUM at the time, just going for special education. And it just didn't really feel like this was going to be my life. Like I was happy with it. I was content and with the Lord, but I just really was like, okay, I feel like there could be something more. And then one night I had a dream, and God came to me in a dream totally. And He was like, go to ministry. But the crazy thing about this dream was he told me to transfer to Crown, but what the dream was is I was at Crown, I was on a visit, I was meeting the basketball team because I played college ball, and I remember going on the visit and seeing like exactly the dimensions of the building, everything. I was walking through the building. I'm like, okay, like this is Crown, this is what it's about. And I saw the locker room, I saw the faces of the people who were there.
Wow.
But the crazy thing was I've never been to Crown ever.
Oh, wow.
I've never been to Crown. I've never seen Crown. I knew what it was because they recruited me out of high school, but I didn't really know anything else about it. I didn't really.
You didn't know the facility. You didn't know what it looked like.
Nothing.
You didn't know any of that.
Nothing. I didn't even know what the coach looked like. But it was just so obvious because I woke up and I was like, what the heck was that? So I texted the coach that morning and was like, hey man, I'm like looking to make the switch over to ministry. And because I was still serving at the church at the time, the same church that now I'm the youth pastor at, but it's still serving in that. That was kind of a fun 360 or moment there. But I text the coach and he immediately responds. He's like, come down Friday. I go down Friday and I walk and I pull up and I walk in. I'm just like, this is insane. Like everything I saw.
Like exactly how it was in the dream. Yeah. That's amazing. I would say that that's the Lord speaking to you.
Was the Lord. Yeah. I was walking in the hallways and I saw like this one person I saw in my dream. I was like, what the heck is that?
Yeah, that's even weird. That's weird. That would freak me out.
So it was so obvious. So then I made the switch immediately that year. And then now lately, how I feel like he's been speaking to me is really just like in seasons of like just waiting. Like lately, I've been kind of in seasons of waiting and transitions. And for me, like just getting in the word is the big one. But more recently, like I was in a pretty serious relationship and we ended up, breaking up and it was kind of just like a real confusing shock to me because I thought this person was the one and everything. But the crazy thing was around a month before we broke up, I like had started praying because there was some things that I'm just like, God, you got to reveal some things to me. And I started praying like a month, even 2 months before. I'm like, God, if you want me to give her up, like Abraham was willing to give his son up, I will be willing to give her up. And I don't want to, but like if it's between you and her, I'm going to choose you, and I just pray that you give me peace about it. Like Isaac was so willing, or Abraham was so willing to give up his son. So I prayed that for like 2 months and then I get a call and that was it. And I'm just like, yeah. And I get off the call. I'm like, okay, thank you. But it was a 2-month long period of prayer. And we talked about this one time, Mario, but that it was crazy that I prayed for that long and then he just answered it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But it was in a season of waiting and just seeking the Lord every day. And which is interesting how God spoke to me through that in scripture, big time for sure.
Yeah. Like it was so stirring.
Mm-hmm.
He stirred it in you to pray it.
Yeah.
Well before it even happened.
I don't even know where it came from. Like it felt like some unease in my spirit. And I'm just like, I feel like this is the one, but like God, whatever happens, I'm willing.
Yeah.
And then
that's cool.
kind of
that's awesome,
prayer,
man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing.
So as you were talking about like hearing from the Lord and like pursuing God in the word, it brought me to Hebrews 4:12. For the word of God is living and effective and sharper than any double-edged sword, penetrating as far as the separation of soul and spirit, joint and marrow. It is able to judge the thoughts and intentions of the heart. So I think that's something that people miss often is like they'll pray and they'll ask God, like, show me, show yourself to me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But also like, we got to look here too, like he gave us his word, if we're not looking for his word.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously God speaks outside of that too. You were not reading your Bible and had a dream. You were sleeping and had a dream, right? And, I don't know if we want to talk about that for us too, but like sometimes as I'm reading the word, it just like, I can't think of another way to say it other than it just causes me to pause or just, I have to stop in that moment.
Yeah.
And it's like, God is speaking something to me there.
Yeah.
But there's other moments that like, I've even like a gust of wind to me has felt like God speaking to me in moments. when I'm just, I'm out praying, I'm out, trying to figure something out. And then there's just like a gust of wind as I have a thought. And it's like,
oh, I wonder, Lord, are you just trying to get my attention? Let me know that you're here? Or,
yeah. And so, that's not to say like God's not going to speak to you unless you are reading your Bible. But also, if you're not reading your Bible, it'll be a little harder, right? Because it's His word.
Yeah, it's His spoken word.
It's
already like what He's already spoken. So I mean, but He speaks in dreams and visions. I mean, people in Iran are getting visions of the Lord in dreams, and the Muslim communities out in the Middle East are getting visions of Jesus in dreams, and it's like Lord speaks in dreams. He speaks in the gust of wind.
Yeah.
What was it? Elijah, not this Elijah, but other Elijah, from the scriptures. It's like I didn't hear God in the fire. I didn't hear God.
Yeah.
I heard him in a whisper in the wind.
Yeah.
And so it's like very similar,
Yeah.
But I think for me, like I've had dreams before that have felt very like, okay, that's very different from my normal dreams. That's obviously God is trying to say something. It doesn't happen often for me though.
Yeah. I've never had a dream that way.
There's one specific time when I was a teenager that I wasn't even a Christian. And it was a very, very specific dream I had about Jesus just coming and reading with me and showing me a book that didn't have any words, but showed me people inside the book. And I've just interpreted the dream as like heaven, like future, like the multitude that will be praising him in heaven is what it looked like. And they were praising and doing all this stuff. But it was during we don't have to get into it, but it was during like my mom didn't kick me out, but kicked my Bible out. She didn't want Bibles in the house or anything. So forced all of us who were trying to get into the word or seeking Jesus, just like told us to throw all our Bibles away and stuff. And I was just very sad and depressed and just like, man, I was really curious about that. And then I had that dream.
Yeah.
But normally it's usually reading the word. Very recently it's like prayer. Like I think we talked a little bit about it during our pastor meeting, whatever, yesterday, but like up early in the morning in the silence in that prayer time, just in that waiting, like you mentioned, where it's like I feel like the Lord more specifically speaks to my heart and is just, I don't know, highlighting something I read or just a word or a theme and what I was reading, and it just kind of replays in my heart over and over and over again. It's like, okay, Lord, you're wanting me to notice something about that. And so that's how it's been for me recently. And anyways, that's we'll probably get side railed if we just keep talking about that.
No, I know. There's a couple things that I want to say, and I was like,
you're really trying to hold back
Elijah's
on it?
Here. Let's learn from Elijah. Well, we have Elijah.
Oh yes. So youth ministry. So we talked a little bit on the way here just about the podcast of like, we want to engage unengaged Christians who are just feel that they cannot be totally committed to their local church to whatever extent that the church is wanting or desiring of them.
It's not people that don't want to be in church. It's people that want to be in church but can't.
Or feel like they can't.
For various reasons. Yeah.
And so that also applies to youth ministry.
Sure does.
It applies to youth and the parents. And so it'd just be kind of good knowing a little bit of insight into like that world of how that looks like from your perspective. So like, I guess first, like Sunday main gathering, and we have youth on Wednesdays. It's like family night. So, on Sunday versus Wednesday, kind of like what are the, attendance trends, you could say?
Sundays we mainly get like the church going kids that come, like the families who are all involved, and every once in a while sprinkle in some kids that just randomly come. Like last Sunday, because what we do is Sunday school after our service, and I usually get about 20 kids to that each week, which is pretty good. And randomly I'll have like 3 or 4 kids who come to youth group but don't come to Sundays. Will just show up. Like that happened last week. But like Sunday services, Sunday gatherings, we'll usually get like, I feel like around 30 kids who are in the youth group come to Sundays. And it's, like I said, mainly the church going families that.
Would you say it's pretty consistently like the same 30 are there? Or is it kind of there's usually 30 there, but it's not the same group of 30 every time?
It's like mainly the
Mostly
same 30.
the same, okay.
Yeah. Very, very rarely will it be like, oh, this family's here, this family. They're pretty consistent. And then here and there we'll just get like random kids showing up like once a month and from the youth group, which is, I'd like them to come more, but you know, their families are all go to different churches, so going to Wednesdays, we get a lot of kids who are not go to our Sunday services, like who are actually like involved in other churches, especially their families who come on Wednesday night. When I started, we had about, so this is like the trends of Wednesday, because Sundays are pretty consistent around 20 to 30. And Wednesdays, when I started, it was about that same 20 to 30 with a few more in there of 30 to 40 kids Wednesdays. And I think it was mainly 40. And since I've been here, we've grown now to about we had 120 last week.
Wow.
That was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But like, we'll mainly get 100 each week. Like 90 is a low now. And
that's 6 through 12?
Yeah, 6 through 12. And we do that all together. And we're looking to like switch it up a little bit to do like at staff. We're talking about doing like a junior youth group.
Yeah.
And 7 through 12. But right now it's 6 through 12. And we'll get about 100 is a pretty solid average the last like 4 months.
Wow.
Which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And as far as like, it's kids who I've never seen before. Like I'll see a random kid. I'll see a small group bring like a random friend. I'm like, who are you? And how do you know me? Like they'll come to me. Oh, you're Elijah. I'm like, yep. I don't know you. It's hilarious. But
not quite sure.
Yeah.
You know me, but
yeah, it's kids it's always kids in the school that like a lot of them don't go to church or go to other churches. But that's like the majority of our Wednesday night group is like non-church going family kids.
Yeah.
Is
would you say that your youth group is, or like that 40 that started the year, have they been really intentional in like inviting in and like bringing, maybe this is too big of a way to say it, but like bringing the youth group out of Wednesday night to invite people in?
Yeah, I would say they started it. I would say like they definitely, because I don't, otherwise how these people here, I feel like that 30 was pretty committed, and they've still consistently came back. Sometimes some of them won't come because of activities get busy, but they're pretty consistent every week. And I would say 100% they started the trend of, all right, because like a big theme of my last year when I first started, I came about the second half year was who's your one more, like wanting to get people in the door. And then and they really like took hold of that, I feel like, and it just slowly grew and grew and grew. Like every week it felt like we were growing. It felt like there was a new kid every week. And then now I would say the kids that have been invited from the beginning of this year and even to last year, now they have really kind of taken in like, okay, now I'm going to go out, which is really cool to see. Like they're might not be there all the way, but they're trying to be disciples who make disciples. And I feel like that's kind of the trend now. And like I have a 6th grade girl group, started with like 7 kids max. And now they're at like 30.
Yes.
6th grade
it's
girls.
insane.
Just 6th grade girls.
It's insane.
And it started with that core.
How many 6th grade girls are there in Holly?
Probably 80 or 90.
It's actually crazy. We looked up the demographics. And what's crazy is before I moved to Holly, I looked up the demographics. And I was just so blown away by how many youth are actually in Holly.
Yeah. That is crazy.
It's insane how many like teenagers are in, like teenagers and under, like kids. Are, and you just wouldn't think it because it's like you don't see, I mean, in the summer you might see a bunch of kids out playing and stuff, but it's like
you don't see them. A
when
lot of surrounding areas, towns.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah. Like we had a Bible study last Friday, and we go to the coffee shop with just the 6th grade girls because they came out to me and like, hey, we want to do Bible study. We're going to be here at 7 a.m. I'm like, oh gosh, all right. It's my day off, but you know what?
Forces you to get up early.
And I pull up and there's literally like a line out the door because there's that many girls ordering coffee and their bags are all in the corner, taking up like a third of the room. And they're like ready to go. Every single one of them has their Bibles ready to go. And I'm just
so
like,
cool.
That's amazing. I felt so bad for that one worker.
This is one worker. That's
It took
crazy.
like an hour to get all of our drinks. But yeah, so that's kind of where we're at with the trends and everything. And it also varies through the year. Like at the beginning of the year, you get really excited. There's a lot of kids. Then actually in the winter is probably our most consistent because, and now that spring's starting to roll around, I think it will start to dip a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But then I have a night like last week and then there's 120 kids. I'm like, okay, maybe not. Like,
yeah. So maybe the Lord will surprise you.
Yeah.
But,
right. So yeah. And it's nice we do get a pull from Fargo too. Like, I have like 5 to 7 kids who come from Fargo.
On Wednesday nights.
Yeah.
Which is also pretty amazing.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, I feel like I'm asking so many questions. So
you're good. But
like, have you noticed a trend in season of like, I feel like something that we notice in Detroit Lakes is like the fall is not terribly busy, but then like winter comes around and it's harder to find time for basketball practice and it's harder to find time for hockey practice, whatever. And so then teams are practicing, starting practice at 6 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so then we have kids that'll just tell us like, you know, November will hit and they're like, well, I guess I'll see you in April.
Yeah.
Do you see like, and I
seriously, no, I mean, it's a huge
100%.
thing.
Yeah. I feel like surprisingly, I'll see certain kids that I won't see for a while, like especially the basketball kids. And like I'm in the coaching staff, so like I do see them a lot more, so that helps. But like I see trends in season, but for the most part, I think because winter also coops everyone up, I have seen that too. And my mom and her youth ministry seen the exact same thing. For her, actually, spring is the downtime, and winter is really consistent because it's like, what else am I going to do? And she does start a little later than I do, which I think that's another thing I'm gonna probably change a little bit. But yeah, when you're in the thick of it, and volleyball's a big thing here in Holly. Like we won state the past 2 years. I do see a little less volleyball kids near the end of the season when it's like playoffs and everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I'll see a little bit of trending, but for the most part, it's pretty consistent because it's just like, I'm depressed. I'm in the dark. Everything's dark in the winter.
Yeah.
I'm in youth group.
I want to be around people.
Yeah. I think
my friends.
I think that breaks our way a little bit.
Actually, it does. Because I think summer is just very different. Just very different from the normal. I won't see a lot of
kids in the summer, but because I'm involved, I will. But summer's the big one here.
Yeah. So so on the topic of like activities and sports, because I mean, sports obviously is a huge thing. I mean, you both coach, so it's like, you know, kids are always involved in sports and multiple sports.
Yeah.
2, 3 different sports and doing school, and you know, just they have so much stuff on their plate.
Yeah.
And so like, how have you noticed that impacting their attendance? Like not necessarily engagement yet, but just their like almost does it like prevent a lot of kids that want to be there? Does it sometimes for them feel like a barrier? Like, man, I wish I could go to youth group, but I got practice tonight, or you know.
Yes, I see that a lot, especially in the upperclassmen because they're so involved. Less in the younger ages because they're not quite there, especially ninth down. But yeah, when you get to the sophomore up, I see a lot of that. Like I'll have a kid text me like, bummer, I can't be at youth group tonight. I got to prepare for this test. And then I have a speech meet. Then I have a basketball game. I'm just like, geez, 50 things. And then on top of JO volleyball and AU season starting now, which is just extra stuff outside of the school.
Right.
I will see a lot of that. Like I'll see, I'm just too tired to come to youth group. But again, like I feel like the youth group I feel like that I have is an anomaly because I feel like we still stay consistent. It is a group, but it's not as big as when I hear from like my mom. You know, she's got like, we had 50 kids missing tonight. And her youth group is so big. I mean, you have 250 kids. But like, so that's normal.
A literal church.
Literally. So it's pretty insane. But I feel like, it definitely happens. It just, especially in the upperclassmen mainly is where I see it. Just be tired and I got a speech thing to do. I got a test to study for. And when they're preparing for college classes too, I have gotten a few conversations. I was like, I'm trying to figure out the college. I need a few weeks off.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, all right, that's fair. And nice thing is these are kids who've come all these years.
Yeah.
Like who've kind of been here even when I wasn't here, who have stayed consistent. So that helps having, at least it's the more consistent kids.
Yeah.
You know,
it's not the one-offs or the people that are checking things out.
Yeah.
The more committed.
Yeah. And they're usually coming to Sundays and they're still serving. So it's like, all right, that's fine.
Makes sense.
Can't really get mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you, sorry, were you going to say something?
It feels like the same thing that you're about to say.
How do you like deal with that of like what do you offer them? They can't make it to Wednesdays. You know?
Yeah.
Like, how do you kind of like handle that dilemma they're experiencing? Or maybe you can ask it a better way.
Well, it was just interesting the way that you said it. It was the more consistent kids are the ones that are less consistent.
Yeah.
The more.
Yes.
And I understood 100% what you're saying. Like, you've known them.
Yeah.
But they're now the ones that aren't able to be there as often. And so, that's kind of like, that's the audience that this podcast is for.
Yeah.
It's the ones that want to be consistently there, but can't be.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the same question, how do you, like, what have you done to try and to supplement or to engage them somehow? Because they clearly are desiring it.
Yeah.
They wouldn't text you if they weren't desiring it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think the coolest thing is, so in school season, like when school's going on, we have Sunday school. That's a big one. I feel like there's a lot of opportunities just in our church alone to serve and to be involved. And Sunday school helps that it's kind of a built-in thing for them to do. And the cool thing is, I actually at the start of the year had 0 Bible studies, and it was on my heart, but I didn't really know how to like make way with that. And then I randomly had a kid come up to me in fall and was like, "Hey Elijah, like we should do a Bible study or something." I'm like, "Dude, I'll get it together. You just need to find some people who you want to be in it." Literally next week we started, and it was after Wednesday night youth group, and we went till like 11 o'clock, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, but it was so good. I'm like, I can't leave yet. So then we started, and then I had another kid come up to me, "Hey, I want to do a Bible study with this grade." And so then we do 7th, 8th grade boys Monday mornings, and then Tuesday mornings is 7th, 8th grade girls, and then Wednesday nights is the senior high boys, and then Thursday mornings is senior high girls.
Every day of the week.
Every day there's something. And then Friday mornings is now senior high girls. So like I didn't do anything. And honestly, like I'm so like I feel way too blessed. Like I'm just like these kids are doing it all. Like but the opportunity is there. And in the summer, what I'll do is I'll do like more mini youth groups and like just have Bible studies that I lead so then my leaders can take a break too. But like I feel like we also do a lot of events. I try to do like an event here and there, just to have things to them to come to if they're like, shoot, I can't make youth group, but I can make it an event. Yeah. So I think the summer is the biggest thing for like the events. I think, I do a lot more events in the summer. I do a lot more. Oh, okay. Another thing that we do is like a lock-in. You know what a lock-in is, right? Yeah. Stay up all night with the kids.
Yeah,
in
terrible.
The church. Terrible. It's horrible. But it's so good every time. And I'll have like a junior. What I did the first time was I did 6 through 12 a lock-in. That was so stupid. But it was so good because there's 205 kids.
That's crazy.
Could you imagine?
I cannot imagine.
Dude, there was stuff that was just broken everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Chairs are broken. Like
the lady's door was broken, like torn off the hinges of like
signs were broken. It was so stupid.
But hey,
it was so fun.
They heard the gospel and they were, so it was like,
now
it's worth
120 kids coming out.
Yes. So like that's a big one. They love it. And so we do the lock-ins. We'll do, we did a Fargo Force game. Like we got to go to the Fargo Force game. It's nice having Fargo being 30 minutes away. It's so close. God, I'm trying to think of other things.
You've done youth group mashups. Like you've done youth. I mean, even with the youth group here in DL, like, a bunch of different youth groups, Perm get together, and
we're doing events.
Those are special times too.
Yeah. We're doing an event May 6th. We're calling it Collide. Me and my mom. Well, actually, I just reached out to my mom. I'm like, listen, we got to do something. Like we got this, one of my buddies who lives in Moorhead. He's trying to like make it to be a singer and he's good. So I had him come down to give his testimony earlier in the year, and it's such a good job. I'm like, listen, we got to have another event. So we're doing, it's called Collide, and I reached out to Marnie already. I reached out to the Vineyard here, Perm. I'm just going to try to reach out to a bunch of youth groups and just have
massive,
like massive. Yeah.
Like, Collide.
Yeah. Collide. And so we're going to do like a message, a little game. And then Soren's going to sing, and then we're just going to like be in fellowship. So like, that's another thing I'll try to do, just to create a lot of opportunities for them so they feel like they're not missing out.
Yeah.
But I also like, I don't want to get to the point where I'm just like doing the stuff, and not make it about Jesus. So I try not to do it all the time, but I want to make sure I get it here and there for kids who can't come. They want to.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. So, so you mentioned a little bit about like the few that are kind of like, they come on Wednesday, but they're the core, and then they come on Sunday and they're kind of like invested, and kind of birth a little bit of the growth going on. So like for you as a youth pastor, when you're looking at these kids, or when a kid is reaching out to you, like what does engagement look like to you? Like how do you know if that a kid has made the shift from becoming, oh, I just show up on Wednesday nights and I'm just here for my friends and I'm just here to hang out, and it's really, really fun. It's to, man, I really want to start a Bible study with my friends and wake up at 6 a.m. Like, how do you know when a kid has made that shift?
Dude, I like don't even know. Like, I don't even know how to answer that, because there's so many kids, I can't reach them all, but I'll really try my best, because we have a check-in system, and like on my phone, it's I'll just tap their name and then check them in. And I really like doing that, actually, because I could just punt it off to a leader, but it forces me to have an engagement with them. And every time that happens, I'm like, hey, how are you doing? Like I try to like do my best to engage. I know I'm never going to be able to minister to 122 kids, but if I can have a moment with them, and I really want them to make them feel seen, at least that I know their name. And that's hard to, sometimes I mess it up.
Hard. Yeah.
But I'll try to play off like a joke. I'm like, oh shoot, so, but then it's a good icebreaker. But the shift, once I see them coming more consistently, like for a kid, perfect example. So 6th grade girls, like, is my fastest growing group, and also the 8th grade boys, but the 6th grade girls is fastest growing. I think these 3 girls who showed up, actually it was one girl who invited 2 of her friends. They show up, and because the first time you could tell, like, they just don't know, but it was their first time coming. It was right after school too, but I got to spend a little bit more time with them because it was after school, and that's like my time where I just am with the kids. So I try to just break the ice a little bit, talk to them, hang out with them, and just like see where they're at and everything. And because at first everyone thinks I'm scary, but I always like give people high fives. And one of the girls was like, see, I told you he'd give you a high five. That was awesome.
He is nice. Yeah. Don't worry.
Yeah. So then after a couple weeks, I just try to feel them out, but then I think when I see a shift is like when I see them starting inviting other people, and I see them like actually listening and taking notes in the sermon. Like I always try to survey. But then because they've been coming for a couple months, and then all of a sudden they were like, we want to start a Bible study. That's kind of when I'll see the shift. If I see them coming every week, I feel like so far, like the kids have done such a good job at getting in their Bibles, because I'm just like, guys, I can't do it for you. Don't come to a youth group to get fed by me. Like you need it, like the Hebrews 4:12 verse. That's like my mom and my like truth verse for our youth groups. Like the word of God is live and active. Like let it change you. Let it pierce your heart. Let it transform you, not me, and let the Holy Spirit work in you. So I'll get on them literally every week. I'm like, are you in your Bible? Think about it. Like, when's the last time you read your Bible? Oh, shoot, 2 weeks ago. And that's when I'll just see the shift. I feel like when they're like, they just start asking me about things. Yeah. I feel like that's when I see the shift of engagement. Like, I want to do this. How can we make this happen? Or I'll just have a random student come to me. I've been thinking about like the Trinity, or like, I feel like Jesus is real, but God isn't. Like those types of questions, I'll see them asking.
They're probing. They're like, they're curious. They're kind of, they're reaching. They're doing something to like make it known that they're thinking about it or whatever.
That's what I feel like I try to look for. Not me going up to ask them, hey, do you want to do this? I'll like kind of wait. That's when I'm seeing the engagement. I don't know. I really don't know how to answer that, but
no, it makes sense. Their questions are shifting from like, what is, I don't know what you call your youth group. But
Revive.
Yeah. Like, what is revive?
Mm-hmm.
Or like, who is Elijah? Or like, when the questions shift from that to, who is God? What is the Trinity? What does, what does this passage mean? Whatever. Like, you see the questions start to shift away from you and back to
Christ and
yeah.
Because I'll also get like a lot of questions. I feel like when we're at youth group, a lot of people are like all in, but then we go to school and then they're like totally different. Like, how can I minister to that? Like, how could I be a light in that? Like, those types of things are awesome questions to have too. Yeah, 100%. Those questions of getting off me. I don't want to be me.
Yeah. Yeah. The like, so do you think that like coach, because you said you're coach.
Yep.
I know you're not in youth ministry, but I would say you like, who do you coach? Like, is it just high school?
It's high school. Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, it gets you an in, even though you're not a youth pastor.
Yep.
To the next generation of like engaging the next generation in some way. So, you're not in a church, but you are with them.
Yeah.
In some form or fashion, and doing something and teaching them something they enjoy.
Yeah. It is interesting, and then we'll let you talk. But it is interesting. Like, I've had so many conversations about like baptism and communion, and like, I had a kid on our team last year that wanted to go. He's playing football at St. John's now, and St. John's, I believe, is a Lutheran.
I don't actually know.
I would not even know.
Lutheran or Catholic, I don't even know.
It's one of the two. Man.
Maybe it's Catholic. It maybe is. Anyway, it's got to be Catholic because he's Lutheran. That's it. It's a Catholic school, but he was a Lutheran. He grew up Lutheran, whatever.
Gotcha.
And so one of the kids like, how's that gonna work?
Yeah.
And just like, Jordy will know. and so like 3 of them came up to me and like, so he's a Lutheran, but he's gonna go play he's gonna play football at a Catholic school. Like, what? And it's like, I mean, I don't have any experience in either of those worlds. Yeah, but it's like,
but they know that
But I think Jordy's gonna know. But so that opened up this really deep conversation about like catechism and taking communion and what is baptism and
the good stuff.
Like, what are the differences between these churches? And can you go to like could you go sit in a mass as not a Catholic? All of it. Anyway, it was fascinating.
Good conversation.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So there's just like there's someone there that can answer those questions when they come up, and that's one of the things I love.
Yeah.
But anyway,
it's like almost like they see you as a coach, but because you're a coach and you're a Christian, they see you as like almost like a spiritual coach too. Like, in a way, like, okay, like, can you help me understand this?
Yeah.
So in the context of youth ministry as a youth pastor, how has like that coaching helped you to be able to like meet kids, engage with them, talk with them, things like that?
Yeah. I feel like, I mean, I literally just had this conversation with Kyle, our lead pastor, and I just was saying thank you for like letting me be out. And he's like, yeah, man, like, you got to equip the saints. And if you're not with the saints, how could you equip them? And so like just getting out with the kids that come to youth group and just seeing them, I think it means a lot just to be with them. And I feel like if I wouldn't be out there, I just wouldn't have these types of conversations. Like this one kid came up to me and was like, hey, I want to start, like, I think we should do a Bible study or something. Like, I want to learn more. If I wasn't out, that conversation would never have happened. And just getting them to see who I am, like, as a person too, and not just, oh, he's just this pastor, not that I'm their friend, there has to be a balance, but like, oh, he's a cool guy. Like, we can just go talk to him. And also for the parents to see me, that's a big one. Like, just the parents needing to like know, okay, what are they teaching? What is my son being taught? What is my daughter being taught by this random guy I know nothing about? Versus, oh, that's Elijah. He's a great guy. Even put aside Jesus, like, he's a really good guy. He loves kids. He cares about kids. Okay, yeah, maybe I can trust him. Just getting them to see me on face in the community is a big thing. Like, I try to like be at a lot of community events, things like that for the parents. And then for the kids, like, I'll just have conversations, like just in the locker room, a kid comes up to me, hey, you're the youth pastor or whatever. I'm like, yeah, like, hey, you should come out sometime. He's like, well, I go to confirmation right now, but I'm graduating from confirmation, so like I can come this summer. I'm like, sweet. Like conversation never would have happened because that's the kids in a sport that I don't coach. It's like perfect. So just being out and just seeing those kids just creates so many more opportunities to be with non-believers, people, and just to get them to see me. Because a lot of the kids are like, oh, Elijah's really cool. But if they don't see me, they'll never know.
Yeah.
And not that I think I'm cool or anything, but
it's just what the kids are saying. Yeah. And to be fair, you are pretty cool, but
maybe.
Yeah. You brought the cool
factor. You are God's silliest goose after all.
It's my favorite hat. Yeah. So that's a big thing. And having the conversations like you'd be surprised where you have some deep conversations. Like I was at this long jump pit at the track meet. The kid comes up to me talking to me about some stuff that's going on with him. He's like, where do I go in my Bible? I know I need to read it, but I have no idea what to do, where to go. You just be surprised the conversations you have when kids' guards are down and because they feel safe or something. I don't.
Seriously, no. Yeah, go for it.
Well, I just think it's so important for people to see too that you can be a Christian and play sports.
Yes.
Like, and that feels like such a silly thing to say.
Yeah.
But like, you can enjoy things. And being a Christian does not mean you sit in a dark room and read your Bible and pray all day long. Like, there is an aspect of that, and you should do that.
You can enjoy the pleasures of this life that God's given us. Like
Ecclesiastes 5.
Yeah, you're all about it.
I'm all about that right now. Enjoy them while you can. It is a gift of God.
Yeah. Well, and two, like sometimes I'll catch myself because I'm so new into it, but just them seeing the way I'm like living my life, and I'm not even talking about Jesus. I'm not even like, I'm not just, oh, you should come to youth group and then this, and this, but it's just like, I'm just being a person and I'm just out, and it's like, I think it's just really important for them to see an example of that.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And I think, I think a lot has happened since I was a youth pastor. I mean, it wasn't that long ago that I was in a youth pastor role, but at that time, the Lord was kind of already moving me out of that role, even though I was still in there. Like my passions were changing, and it was just very clear. But like a couple years ago, 5 years ago, when I was like 6 years ago, just starting in youth ministry, like there was a huge distrust for pastors already.
Yeah.
And like, pastors were seeing, it was just a lot of immorality that was going on with youth pastors doing crazy, stupid things, like with kids. And like, it creates so much distrust in the kids, but also in the parents.
Big time.
And, I know our focus isn't about like deconstruction and things like that, but like with kids being out in their space, and getting into their zone and their safety area and what they like, and like showing them like, hey, I'm not, like, I don't want you to just only come into my space, but I'm going to go, and I'm going to go into your space, and I'm going to make myself vulnerable into your space.
For sure.
And then that would kind of, it kind of creates a trust in them. Like, maybe I can go over to your space because,
and just like showing up to the stuff, like showing up to a volleyball game and watching, or showing up to a basketball game, they see it. Like I had this one kid, one of my leaders' little brother, I showed up to his flag football game, and like when I was walking in, he was just like, you could tell he was just like looking, because I told him, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go to your flag football game. And like they look.
Then making sure to hold you accountable.
And then if you don't do that, it's like, where were you, Elijah?
It's a huge,
Because one time I didn't show up to a volleyball game because I had something come up, like it was like actual thing. And they're like, you weren't at my volleyball game. And then the next game I show up, they're like, there you are. Like they just know, and they want to like feel loved, and because you just don't know what situations kids are in. That's just, so showing up is.
When I was student teaching, this is so funny. I student taught at Moorhead High School, and I had a kid in one of my classes. He goes, hey, you coming to my basketball game tonight? Like, yeah, sure. Sounds great. And like, I don't know these kids at all. He's a sophomore, and he's a small dude. Like, I don't know what team you're on. and I don't know how to ask, like, are you on the C team? Are you on JV, like varsity, whatever?
Yeah,
I was like, what time?
Mhm.
What time do I come to this game?
Yeah.
And it was varsity, 7:30. Like, yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah.
And he's like, for real? I was like, yeah, I'm coming. I'll be there.
Mm.
And so I get to the game, and then I sit opposite the bench.
Yeah.
In the stands, whatever. And I'm looking, trying to find him. And then I see him wearing a suit sitting at the end of the scorer's table, and he's the team manager. And dude, and he sees me, and I'm not kidding you. He stands up and goes, and he's just like so pumped that I came.
I love
it.
it.
It's just like
amazing.
He's just so fired up that I came to that game.
You kids are so awesome.
Oh, it's so funny.
It is. It's very impactful for them. I mean, it's
even,
like
it's the world to them.
It really is.
Season.
Yeah,
it really is.
And I coached tennis in Moorhead for a while too. And one of my players went on to play in college.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to watch one of her matches playing in college.
Mm-hmm.
And so I hadn't seen her play. I hadn't seen her in a few years, but I finally worked out for me to get to a match, whatever. And she saw me during her match, and she waved, and it's like
everyone's looking.
Like during the match.
During the match.
Yeah. And it's like that. And that was one of the things that I thought of in that moment. It was like, this really matters to people.
Yeah.
It really matters.
Yeah. I've seen that too. Like, oh my gosh, 7th and 8th grade volleyball, junior high volleyball. I'll try to they have a walking track up in our home gym. And I like to go up there because it's like the one time I don't have to talk to people, like just watch. Because I know I'll get sucked into 50 conversations. And not that I don't want to talk to the parents, but they're there to watch their kids and things like that. I'll walk up the track and one of the girls will spot me. The entire team waves. And I look at the parents and they're all like, who is this guy? But it's 100%. It just means so much.
It does. Yeah. It really does. And I mean, it's just great. It's just great to be a part of their life because it just feels like, oh, he actually cares about my life.
He's not just saying, oh yeah, I'll show up to the game and not show up.
Yeah.
He's actually meaning it.
He's
and
true
I think it matters too that if they are able to be at youth group or not, that you still care about them.
Mm-hmm.
Still care about who they are.
Regardless.
You don't have to show up to youth group to be loved and cared for and valued.
Even if you're not in the youth group, like that's what someone made the comment about my mom who didn't even go to the church. It was like, oh, that's just the youth pastor of the town.
Of the town.
I feel like I heard that's the town's youth pastor.
I mean, she does have most of the town's youth at the
but other kids will go to her who don't even go to the church and don't even go to a different youth group, and they'll still talk to her. Like, and for those kids to see, like, yeah, I don't care, you're not my youth group, you're going to something, I care about you,
Man, yeah. So, I think we've talked a lot about like engaging Gen Z, and I think one of the stats about Gen Z that I've been seeing a lot more recently is that there's an upsurge of Gen Z almost leading the way.
Yeah.
Of like this, for a long time, the millennial generation was known for like the generation that was de-churching, like moving away from church and, disappointed with the church. And then Gen Z is like bringing things back around. So I think as we're just kind of wrapping things up, I just think it's cool that to hear about Gen Z really wanting Jesus, and just the Bible studies that are starting up, and kids asking you questions like, hey, what does the Trinity mean? And hey, what is, and so I don't know if you have any other thoughts in terms of Gen Z and kind of the trend that they're kind of leading the way of being back engaged with church and with Jesus.
I feel like there's just everything is so normal. I can just do anything anytime I want. It just gets boring. I feel like kids are so bored. They're just everyday life is this is what we do. We do sports. I scroll on my phone. I go hang out with friends, and that's it. So me and my mom just talk about it all the time. These kids they're so bored. I feel like they're looking for something new. It's because especially when COVID happened, these kids are the thick of sitting at home, not doing anything. And they're just I want something. I want something to do. I want something to have. I don't know what that is, because I'm sure a lot of the majority of the families were probably not watching church services. We're probably not having a spiritual element in their everyday sit at home, wait life. Yeah. So I feel like there's just kids are seeking now more than ever because it's like, I don't know what this life's about. I feel like scrolling on TikTok for hours a day isn't fulfilling me. What am I going to have? And I feel like with that surge, I feel like that's where it's coming from. It's just like, Jesus is different. God's different. Like being a believer is different. Like it actually gives me a purpose. It actually gives me like something that I can look forward to, not just because these kids just know everything about their life, what it's going to be for the next sports. It's this, you know. I feel like God just gives something so different. And I feel like 100% the kids are leading the way. I had just a little junior high kid come up to me. It was like, Elijah, we're going to go to Arizona for church and you'll be proud of me. I told my grandparents who don't go to church at all, either you're coming to church with us for Easter service or I'm going to be a brat all weekend. And she was so serious. She's like, I don't care. We're going to church. And I was like, this is a junior high girl just saying like, no, we're going to church. I'm like, this is amazing. This is awesome. And then she's like, you know what? And they went to church.
It's like, nah, we don't want her to be a brat. So let's go to church.
That's like, so funny.
And she led the way. And like, I had another girl come up to me. And,
use your strengths.
Use what you got.
Yeah. That's right.
Use what you got.
And then like I'll see this other junior high kid who just comes to church service with her parents who have never been to church before. And I'll see like kids just going up to their parents, ask them questions, you know, and just like leading them. And I'm just like, this is amazing. Like, how is the next gen even being willing to do this? It's crazy. And yeah, I just think they're seeking because it's just like they're so sick of the normal. They're so sick of, because a lot of these kids have everything, quote unquote. You know, they get the minutes in their sport. They get to go on the trips. They get to have a phone. They get to scroll on Instagram. They get to play video games. They get to do everything they want, you know? So it's just like, I just think there's something different about it. It's just like, I have everything, but I have nothing, you know? And kids are so anxious and so depressed. So it's like, wait, I don't have to be anxious. I don't have to be depressed, you know?
Sounds like we're talking about Ecclesiastes.
Big time.
We might as well just go through Ecclesiastes in the next episode.
I'm going to keep bringing it up until we do.
It's so good. Yeah.
It is, honestly, it is really good so though. Good. And it's so relevant.
Yeah.
It's just so relevant.
Yeah. And then to see them in the Bible studies, just like some kids, you know, you get your kids who are trying to figure it out, but some kids are like, they get frustrated when Bible studies doesn't go good. Like, listen, we gotta show love. We gotta be patient. Kids aren't where you're at. But it's cool to like see the kids like, I want to go deeper. Why won't these kids go deeper with me? You know?
Yeah.
It's cool that awesome, they want them to come along it.
Yeah,
you know?
Definitely.
So if you can jump in if you have any other thoughts too, but I was just sitting here thinking like, man, if there's kids watching this, if there's, you know, junior, senior high kids watching this in the Holly area, in the Fargo area that are looking for something, when is youth group? When is Sunday school?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sunday school's at 10:30 and we always have free pizza.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Come on, you know.
I'm jealous.
It's awesome.
Can I get there and be back to preach to Tim?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's on Sunday, every Sunday, only in the school year though. Like summer it will pause. But right now youth group starts at 6, but like we don't start like actual content and worship and stuff till 6:30. So that's when especially the kids that are busy, I'm like 6:30, come at 6:30. But then for Bible studies, I mean, those are just every morning and it will shift in the summer. Like every morning at 7, there's something. But yeah, the youth group starts at.
Is there so I guess this will be released in probably June or early July.
Probably end of June or early. Probably.
So it'll be summer when this comes out. Yeah. So I guess is there like a church, like an Instagram for the youth or something?
Yeah,
like
there
that
is.
They can keep an eye on to figure out when Bible studies are and stuff this summer.
Live students min or some _min or something like that.
Yeah, I'll put it on the thing so that they could see.
That's why I try to post everything. I'm like, I try to be up to date with it, and especially in the summer, I'll really release a lot of. Every time we have an event, every time we have a Bible study, I'll give like the weekly. Yeah, well, that's another amazing thing. A student made me a weekly thing of what we have going on. Yeah, I didn't even do that.
Dude, these students are just.
And I've been thinking about this too, man. And like, you know, you have said like, I'm not like they're doing it. The kids are doing all this stuff, but like, man, you're also empowering them to do it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people in leadership that do not empower people to lead, and like,
man,
good on you for empowering your kids to lead.
Yeah, seriously,
they're doing it,
and just
they're
showing up.
opportunities, and they're doing it.
Yeah, showing up.
This will be one of my final thoughts. When I was a youth pastor, one of the statistics that rocked my world all the time, it was the thing that drove me in youth ministry. It was a statistic from Barna, said that 73% of youth, when they get to college, they abandon the faith. And the reason that they abandon the faith is because they say that there was not my youth pastor, my senior pastor, the pastor that was over me. They did not engage with my questions that I had about faith.
Mm-hmm.
They just told me to read my Bible. They just told me to that's how it is. They told me you just need to have faith.
Yeah. And
I think when you are just meeting with these kids and they're coming up and they're saying like, how do I do this? Where do I go in the Bible?
Mm-hmm.
And you're showing up and you're like giving them space to question and giving them space to like wrestle. Yeah. I mean, this is a big thing for me, but like wrestling is good.
Yeah.
It's a good thing to wrestle with God. If you're not, then you're probably not in relationship with him. Like it's,
100%.
And so I just want to encourage you that like being a part of ministry and in youth ministry and the way that you're doing it like that, just showing up for the kids is turning the tide on that statistic.
Yeah.
And I think that's just really encouraging.
Yeah.
Not only to see, but I get to witness it, like, cause I work with you and I show up on Wednesdays and I'm not in the youth group, but I see the kids coming in and it's like, it's bonkers, dude.
It's totally bonkers.
That is sweet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I feel like, it's so nice to have the flexibility and of my job and everything, because I really try to do my best to create the space. And it's such a blessing to have the leaders I have too, because I'm not leading every Bible study, which is so great. And so like having leaders I trust to answer some of those questions. Like I just got off the phone with, literally before I showed up and you were there, just got off the phone with one of my leaders who led a Bible study this morning, and she was telling me about some of the good things that are happening. I'm like, so awesome. I don't have to be involved, and I can trust that they're going to answer the questions. I praise God for the leaders, man. Yeah.
Great. Well, I don't know if you have any other final thoughts, Jordy.
No, we covered a lot.
Elijah. And
that was awesome.
Covered a bunch of great stuff. So until the next episode, and
thank you for tuning in.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and if you are a youth and you're looking for a youth group, not only Elijah, but DO Church, we also we'll find a way to get
Highway 10.
We
got 3 of them.
Yeah, Highway 10.
Just hop on Highway 10 and just
roll the window down and just listen.
Yeah. Wherever the loud music is coming from, that's where you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you for joining, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Absolutely.